I've been waiting for one of these. Hello and welcome to My Tiny Bottles, the project where I'm exploring my grandmother's legacy of miniature liquor bottles, one tiny bottle at a time. I'm your host, Tammy Coxon. So the way this project works is that my grandmother had all of these bottles she collected, and I inherited them all. And so I didn't want to just open them all up at once. I wanted to eke them out a little bit at a time so I could have the joy of discovery and I could share that joy of discovery with you. Which means that every once in a while I get to do these reveal videos where I get to dive into the collection and see what I get to research next. So today is one of those days, and the box of fun is here. All right. This is a box inside a box. It's fuzzy on the outside, and it says Uskabash. Now, Uskabash, I'm probably slaughtering that word, is Gaelic for water of life, and is thought to be the word that whiskey comes from. So I'm guessing this is a Scotch whiskey inside. And indeed, it is a little jug of Uskabash, the grand whiskey of the Highlands. Blended Scotch whiskey, old rare, over 210 years of tradition, it says on the back. Let's see, bottled and blended and bottled for 12 Stone Flagons Limited of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. There's definitely still liquid in here. I never know with like a ceramic container how well stuff's got to evaporate through ceramic, I think. So I don't know. I also don't know how I'll get into this. It's got a little wax stopper, but certainly a charming looking bottle and will be fun to research. Great box too. All right. What's up next? Oh, more fuzzy things. Crown Royal! I've been waiting for one of these. I was sure Grandma's had a lot of Canadian whiskey. I'm really getting a crash course on Canadian whiskey, and I was really surprised that I hadn't found one of the most iconic, best-selling, popular Canadian whiskeys in the world, Crown Royal. Anyone who has ever played D&D or any other role-playing game has probably had one of these little purple bags in their life, because these are very commonly used to hold the dice that you use for playing D&D. If you are wondering if I have ever played D&D, and that is why I know, why yes, I am one of those gamer types. All right, this one's a little hard. There we go. Finally got in. All right, there's a little price tag floating around, $2.99 when this was purchased. So this has a Canadian excise tax label on the top, and it's got the date of distillation. So this was distilled in 1979, would have been bottled some years after that because Crown Royal is a distilled product, but the youngest whiskey in here would have been distilled in 1979. Tax strips are my favorite thing when it comes to my obsession with trying to figure out the dates on these bottles. This is great. I'm really excited to get to research this one, tell its story, and kind of put it in the context of all of the other Canadian whiskeys that I have been learning about. All right, Whiskey Day. Plastic Day. No, okay, for a minute there, I thought this was a port, which I was going to be shocked by because I've already found 2 bottles of port, and how could that be? But no, it is London Dock rum. It's just that they're using this really weird font for the word rum, and you can't really read it very well. So this is a very old, I don't know. It's a plastic bottle, which really wasn't introduced till the 1980s. It's got 70 proof, so maybe I think it was for the British market. So I don't know, maybe they started bottling in plastic earlier in the islands because this is from Guyana. Interesting. London Dock. Favel's London Dock. This will be interesting to try to track down. Not much of it left, though. 3 out of 5. Another glass bottle. Feels like it maybe has a little interesting shape. All right, I was worried for a minute there. When I started unwrapping this bottle, I could feel that it felt just like the not one but two bottles of Boggs cranberry liqueur that I have opened to have this particular shape. But in fact, it is not a third bottle of Boggs, thank goodness, but it is another product from the same company. So the Boggs cranberry liqueur came from Hublines. They were a very famous maker up until about 1996, and then they got bought and kind of disappeared. So this was clearly just the bottle they were using. This is a bottled cocktail. So this is a whiskey sour in a bottle. Um, I gotta think that's not gonna taste very good, but it probably didn't have any actual lemon juice in it, so maybe. Um, yeah, it's really interesting to see these historic RTDs because right now we're in this moment where RTDs, that means ready to drink, canned cocktails, bottled cocktails, those things are huge right now. Big portion of alcohol sales are in part of the category right now. But we've been there before. All right. Hubline bottled whiskey sour. Last but not least, one more glass bottle. Another vodka. This one is Finnish vodka. Finlandia, vodka of Finland. Beautiful bottle. Nice textured glass. That's really nice. Alko Limited, Helsinki, Finland. Imported in the bottle, it says. Vodka of Finland imported in the bottle. So we didn't send this somewhere else and let somebody else bottle it for us. It's legit from Finland. I think they think that that was important, and maybe it is. I don't know anything about Finlandia. Vodka is not really my category. I like all the things that have more flavor, but this will be a fun one to research. I don't know. I know all about Polish vodka and Russian vodka and how those countries started making vodka, but I actually don't know the Finnish connection and how that comes into play. So that'll be fun. That's a pretty good pick, I do have to say. Definitely lots of little bits of history here for me to explore. And if you would like to see me explore them, do subscribe to the YouTube, or if you're listening to this on the podcast, be sure you're a subscriber of the podcast. And then you'll be able to get all the episodes. I'm going to research each of these bottles and sort of tell its story, and then eventually open them up with some people and taste them. So it will be a good time, and I want you to be there with me. So subscribe, leave a comment, like, share, tell your friends about this project. I'm really enjoying doing it, and I hope you're enjoying watching. You can find me at mytinybottles.com. There you'll find pictures, information about the history of the project, all of the bottles, the many bottles that I have now found from Grandma's collection. You can also find me at TammyLC on Blue Sky and at mytinybottles on Instagram and Facebook. So whatever social media you like, look for me there. Cheers!